Folks, we welcome you back to Uptown Charlotte. NC State will wrap up our student-athlete conversations this morning. Leonard Freeman's with us first. Leonard, we've got microphones on both sides of the room, so we'll pass them around. See how many questions we can knock out with you and Al before we take a break for lunch. So first question to our left, front row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Leonard, just what you can say about growing through adversity and going through your injury, and just what you can say you're excited about this year and what you learned from that time.
I learned a lot. Sitting out, every game was like a film session, and you see the spots that people should have done or the moves that people should have done, like in the moment. Like you watching other teams play and you watching us play, like, oh, he should have did that then there. But it was a great experience, and it just that time off just made me more hungry. Since I wasn't able to work out and help my team out, it just put me in a different mindset that like this is my last one, and I got to go twice as hard for the time I didn't go the time I was hurt.
Leonard, from the podium here, you hopefully are going to have a good final season. What is it that you have to do to leave the program in good shape for this time next year?
We just want to work hard. I think just leave it all on the table. This is my last year. I don't want to leave with any regrets. I want to go out by going to the tournament, and that's my goal, just getting right back to the tournament. I've been there the first 2 years, and my second two, we haven't been there. So me experiencing that's the only goal. Just don't leave anything knowing that this is my last go-around. I don't want to be sitting here next year saying, oh, I wish I could have did this, or I wish I could have done that differently. I want to leave it all out there.
Leonard, we'll go second row to your left.
Leonard, Coach was fairly open that he said he knows you guys will not be picked high here, and you guys will use that directly as a motivating factor. Has he explained that to you and made it clear that you guys need to prove yourself?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we kind of figured that. We have a lot of new pieces, new coaches, so I'm not surprised that like we aren't picked high. I hope y'all pick us last, honestly. So we can only go up from there, but no disrespect, but we work too hard for us to actually like not say care, but like when I'm a competitor, so if you sit here and tell me that I'm gonna be 15th or 14th out of 15 teams, then it's just gonna put me in a different mindset, make me go twice as hard, and make me just want to prove everyone wrong. So go ahead, pick us last, please.
Leonard, what are you guys learning from Coach, and what do you think he's learning from you?
I feel like I can only speak for myself. I feel that I'm learning to compete in everything. Coach Keats, he makes you become a competitor. He every drill we do is a winner and a loser. So he makes you bring it every day. I think that's the main thing with Coach Keats. Like he doesn't accept anything other than 110%. So every day in practice, like you know that you're going to go hard, like you're going to give it your all. And I think that's what I learned from him, just how to be an extremely hard competitor. And I'm not really sure what he learned from us yet. It's hard to get in Coach Keats' head.
It's probably a good answer. In just a second, we're going to bring up Al Freeman. We're all getting to learn him a little bit. What have you learned about this teammate?
From Al Freeman, Al's different. On the court, he's a great player. He's a great scorer. I've been seeing him, like we graduated in the high school, same class. So I've been seeing him for a while. He's a great scorer, great player, and he's one of the leaders on the team off the court. He's like the granddad of the team. He makes sure he does the right thing, and he leads by example. He's just a great leader, great player overall.
The way that Al's laughing off camera, I think we're going to excuse you and have Al come up and respond to the comment that you just called him old.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely old. Yeah, that's not a secret.
First time, I think, at Operations Basketball, we've had two student athletes from the same team with the same last name. Al, welcome to Operation Basketball. Tell us about Leonard. Is he just as old?
Nard, man, on the court, I would say, Nard is probably the heart and soul of the team. He's wins in practice, every 50-50 battle, every loose ball, every rebound. He'll throw illegal screens in there every now and then. But now I'll say, off the court, he's definitely, somebody that leads by example too. I probably am the oldest on the team, but I definitely say he acts the oldest. So,
Al, you got a question here, front row to your left.
Al, just what you can say about your adversity and everything that you went through in your career coming to NC State and the decision to be at NC State.
I think it was, I really have enjoyed my time here at NC State, and I just try to take advantage of every single day. I think it was a great, choice and opportunity here for, what the situation presents and what I wanted as a player. I think, I really feel like I can really help the team, and I feel like the team really gives me an opportunity to show what I couldn't show in the past few seasons. I think that we all go through adversity in life, one way or one time or another. And some people go through adversity early on. Some people go through adversity later, and it's just all about how you respond to it. We're all gonna, be faced with it, and just you go through things in life that prepare you. This what I've been through in the past, what I've been through in my journey. It's not the last time I'm gonna go through adversity. And everybody in this room, we're going to go through adversity multiple times in our life. And what the lessons that we learn are going to help us prepare for, the future challenges that we have, and the success that we have, and the failures that we have.
Alice, stay on your left, second row with Mark.
This is probably not fair since Leonard already came and went, but if Coach yells out Freeman in practice, who most likely is he angry at or happy with?
It's probably angry with me and happy with him.
I think that's the answer we expected, but that's pretty good. Leonard said he expected that answer. Al, when you think about the total of the season, we've asked other student athletes this. To be successful this year, do you have to raise a piece of hardware? Do you have to have a trophy?
I think it depends on who you ask. For every team has different goals. For us, I can't speak for anybody else, but for our team, at the end of the year, we want to have a piece of hardware. We want to have the trophy for everything that we compete in, the ACC tournament, for NCAA tournament. When we go to Bahamas, we're not going into any game, any tournament, any situation, any scrimmage, any exhibition, anything, not planning on winning, not planning on being victorious. And I think if anybody is, then I think you're doing the wrong thing right now with your life. I think that anything that anybody does, you should always want to be the best. You should always want to come in first place, and that's one thing that we learn. Sometimes the hard way every single day in practice. It's winning is it becomes who you are and everything that you do. So that's how we try to approach everything that we get faced with.
Well, we wish the Freeman twins good luck this season. And folks, enjoy your lunch today, so thank you. We're going to take a break for lunch. When we come back, it'll be 1 o'clock. We'll have the Commissioners Forum here in Uptown Charlotte. Then at 2 o'clock, we'll visit with our head coaches, and we'll wrap up the day along about 5:15, 5:20. Thank you. We welcome in the newest member of the head coaching ranks. Kevin Keats will join us here on the podium for the next 12 minutes. NC State and the Wolfpack will round us out for the 2017 ACC Operation Basketball. Coach, we've got microphones set throughout the room. We'll jump right in with questions, and we'll look for the first hand into the air. Coach, left side, fourth row.
Coach Ryan Leonard from ACC.com. With Al Freeman transferring in from Baylor, how is he transitioned from a different program? What role will he have on your team, and how well do you think he will assume that role?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, I'm excited to have the opportunity to coach Al Freeman. He's a young man that I've known for a long time, and he's from right here in Charlotte. He brings a lot to our program, especially a lot of people will think his contribution on the court is going to be major, but I think just having an older guy in your locker room certainly helps a lot. Now, on the basketball court, he's a guy who can play either guard position. The experience that he had at Baylor I thought was great when you talk about going to NCAAs and everything else, but he's a guy that certainly has to have a great year for us to be successful, could lead us in scoring.
Coach, third row left.
Coach, Jonathan been with the Robinson. You got a lot of guys in the front court that's got experience from last year, whether it's Amir or Malik or even Leonard. He's had experience when he's not injured. Do you feel like that will be a strength for this team, and have they helped you along this transition process?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if I could find a way, and I know I can't because obviously playing in the ACC, you can't play those bigs together. But when you talk about Malik and you talk about Leonard, who's coming back from an injury, and then Omir, who we're blessed to have back, certainly that's the strength of our team. It's a situation where, you know, I finally got a guy who I can throw the ball inside and feel comfortable that he can score the basketball.
Left side, Coach, second row by the curtain.
Mark Armstrong with ABC 11. If you were not available and none of your assistants were available, which player would you leave practice in their hands and feel remotely comfortable?
I don't know about that one. I haven't had him long enough to say that. You know what? I tell you, I take that back. I probably would leave it to Leonard Freeman. Leonard's becoming a great leader for us. You know, when I go back and look at NC State games from last year, they missed somebody with that type of leadership. They missed somebody who could rebound the basketball. But he's got a tremendous personality. Guys like him. They listen to him. So he would probably be the guy that would run practice.
Coach, let's stay on the left side all the way back against the curtain next to the camera.
Hey, Coach, we were talking to your players earlier, and I asked them about some of the biggest differences from ending last year into how practice is going with you, and they said the competition, just everything, every drill is competitive. So my question for you is, what have you seen out of that competition in practice, whether it's drills, plays, just between your players?
Well, as you guys know, I'm trying to create a competitive atmosphere. And with these guys, it's accountability, it's effort, it's competing every day. But it's been good, you know, ever since I've taken over the program, and we were fortunate enough to have 10 practices before we went to Italy. And now I think I would say 16 to 17 practices in before we start playing. These guys have competed and gave me great effort every day, and I'm proud of them for that. But, you know, one of the things that I want these guys to learn is to how to compete. And I think I'm getting that with these guys.
Coach, to your right, front row.
Coach Daniel Wilson, Old North Banter. Last Friday was primetime with the Pack. Just talk about your first experiences with Wolfpack Nation, seeing them for the first time.
Unbelievable. I mean, what a great experience. You know, it was a great show. You know, we lost our three-point shooting contest to the females, if you saw that. But I warn you, the only reason why we lost is because that's where they play their games at, and they practice there all the time. But I thought it was a great atmosphere. You know, I thought it was ran very well. It was first class. Our guys certainly had a good time. It was great because, you know, I think we were around 5,000 people who showed up. And when you talk about prime time of the Pack, just to have that many guys come out, I thought it was good. It was a dunk contest. It was a great experience.
Coach, from the podium here, you're an experienced head coach. You're in a brand new venue. What are your expectations for the 17-18 season?
Well, my expectation is if you come and you watch us play, that you leave the game saying, man, wow, those guys compete. As a head coach, you know, I'm going to go into the season just like everybody else. My objective is if we're playing 35 games, I want to be 35-0. But somehow if we stump our toe and we lose a couple games, then we'll reassess what we're trying to do or what we're trying to accomplish. But my biggest thing is, you know, when I was able to go out on all the caravans and meet a lot of NC State fans. The one thing that came back to me is that they wanted to see a product that would compete every night, and that's what I'm looking for.
Coach, go back to the left side, fourth row.
With the seasoned veterans of Al Freeman and Leonard Freeman, what expectations do you have from them in terms of mentoring the younger players coming in?
Well, first of all, you got to give me a little credit that I was able to bring two Freemans to this event now. I have high expectations. When you're a senior and this is your last opportunity, and not just Al and not just Leonard, I talk about that with Sam Hunt. I talk about that with Malik, and even with the younger guys. I challenge the younger guys to play for the seniors. And one thing that I've told those guys is one day you're going to be an upperclassman and you're going to want some freshman or sophomore to play for you. And so really this season should be dedicated to those guys.
Other questions for Coach here in the room? Coach, we'll bring it back here, first row on the right side, then we'll go left.
Hello? Oh, there we go. Last season, Markel had to essentially play second banana to, Dennis Smith Jr. Just talk about how he's developed in trying to transition to a starting role now.
He's getting better. The one thing about Markel is that he's learning how to compete every day. He's a guy, and it's a great thing because we've got a freshman, LeVar Batts, who's from around here, who's really pushing him every day. You'll even see a lineup with those two guys in there together. But for Markel, the great thing about it is because he played beside Dennis, he can play one or two, and same thing with LeVar. But he's coming along, a little slower than some other guys, but he's getting there.
Coach, left side, third row.
Coach, coming from UNCW and now at NC State, I talked to a couple of your guys are from North Carolina, and I talked to Al this morning about North Carolina's reputation as a hoop state. And he definitely pointed to the fact that he thinks this is the number one place for basketball. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Oh, absolutely. What else would I say? This is the mecca of college basketball. And I mean that. If you look around North Carolina, even, as far as recruiting, it's some good young players. But, certainly it's some talent in this state, always has been, and always will continue to be.
Coach, I think that's going to be the final word. Good luck this season.
Good. Thank you. Thank you,
Folks,
guys.
we appreciate you attending and watching the stream of the 2017 ACC Operation Basketball. Remember, you can always visit the ACC.com and all the social media handles to get all the news that you need throughout the season. Exhibitions will start this week, and we will see you in March in New York. Thank you, everyone.